and let us all do we can to build a better future.
A lot of you have noticed that many politicians, commentators, the blue checkmark people are finally, maybe kind of, sort of, and I'm being generous with this, acknowledging what's happening in East Palestine, Ohio. But then you have jagoffs like the people on The View, good old Joyless Joy, saying that the people of East Palestine, Ohio, and all the affected communities deserve what's happening to them. Gee, Joy, I thought you were a liberal. I thought you were supposed to be kind-hearted and caring and compassionate. But again, when it comes down to liberal Democrats, especially liberal Democrats that are so close to the Democratic establishment, they're hypocrites and frauds. And I want to make this very clear here. No one should go through what's happening in East Palestine, Ohio. I don't care who they voted for. I don't care if they voted for Trump. Those are American citizens, number one. And that entire community, the environment, the people, young and old, are forever going to be impacted by the chemical spill from that train derailment. And the fact that you have someone with a large platform like Joyless Joy saying that the people deserve it because they voted for Trump, it should tell all of you how this election cycle will play out in 2024. Because the Biden administration, especially Joe Biden himself, isn't there. Now, they did send Pete Buttigieg, but did Buttigieg really look active and energetic? He looked lazy and tired. He seemed dismissive to the plight of the people. This is going to cost the Democrats. And as a political commentator, as someone who gives analysis to politics, this is not an endorsement to Trump or anything like that, because I know there's going to be some brain dead, vote blue no matter who people saying, oh, how could you say this? But let's face it, politics 101, people are angry, people are upset, there's no leadership, there's no support for the people are suffering, we don't have Medicare for all, and the Democrats are indifferent, they're not showing up, and this can cost the Democrats the state of Ohio. Because let's face it, popular vote means nothing. The Electoral College means everything here in America. Electoral College supersedes the popular vote. And I will not be surprised, and I won't be shocked that if the state of Ohio goes red and gives its Electoral College votes to the Republican candidate, whoever they may be. I would be surprised. And the thing is, these words have consequences. And with right now, the uncertainty with what the people of Ohio are going through. And again, to our viewing audience that is in Ohio, I'm very sorry this is happening to you. This shouldn't have never happened to anyone. But this is another sad example of environmental crisis happening here in America. People of Flint, Michigan don't have clean drinking water. In the state of Hawaii, the people's ground drinking water was contaminated. Here in Chicago, we have lead in our drinking water, and Lake Michigan's being polluted. And I'm just naming just 3 locations. There are numerous other locations. No one should go through this. No one should have their environment and community polluted. No one should be at risk of having an environmental disaster happening in their neighborhood. Yet, where are the Democrats? So I want to pull up this video of Nina Turner, where she's calling out the neoliberals. And she even calls out Joyless Joy for saying that, oh, the people deserve it. So let's play this video for all of you.
Nina Turner, you are a daughter of Ohio. I know you've been to East Palestine.
Yeah.
Do you think that the administration is doing enough?
No, the state administration is not doing enough. I'm not pleased with Governor Mike DeWine, who actually drunk some of the water, giving people confidence that that water is okay, when in fact that EPA didn't do the deepest dive that they can do to deal with the carcinogens that are there, the air, the water.
I just want to pause this here as well. And I just want to just add this commentary to this video. The fact that the governor of Ohio pulled an Obama should make everyone furious. In fact, hey, let's have democracy in the chat. Type 1 if you think he actually really did drink the water. Type 2 if he was able to position himself to make it look like he was. And it was all an act, just like Obama did to the people of Flint, Michigan. Again, to the people of Ohio, and to all those communities affected by the train derailment. I am very sorry that your government is abandoning you. Don't vote Democrat. Don't vote Republican. We need to start doing citizen ballot initiatives and start building movements and organizations not connected to Washington, D.C. We got to fight for ourselves right now. And I'm sorry this is happening to the people of Ohio.
No, and when I went there, and I saw both fear and anger in the eyes of the people there. I had a local guide. His name is John. He grew up in and around that area, and also Jess. And I got a chance to talk to some of the people. And one lady that I talked to, she said, I never want to see another vehicle carrying chemicals come through my community again. And so while you have some on the GOP side saying less government, you have the residents of East Palestine saying that government is not doing enough. And they have been, not just them, they have been failed by subsequent many administrations. It's not just the Trump administration, it was the Obama administration, now it's the Biden administration. So now we have the facts, they're out there. The NTSB said this could have been avoided. The thing is, what are we going to do to solve the short-term and the long-term needs of the people? And then just one more point. For the neoliberals who say that the residents of that area deserve what they are getting because they voted for President Donald J. Trump, it is abhorrent. This is about poverty. This is about poor working class white people who are enduring some of the same things that poor working class black people endure, whether it's Flint, Cleveland, or Jackson, Mississippi. And so I want to lay it out. The cultist behavior in politics right now, it is a sin and a shame that when people are suffering to this magnitude, you got people who will fix their mouths, to quote my grandmother, to say that they are getting what they deserve. What they deserve is clean air, clean food, clean water. They deserve relief, both in the short term and also in the long term.
Nina Turner is saying words that I agree with, but here's my criticism. Nina, not once but twice you ran in the Democratic Party for a House seat in Ohio. The Congressional Progressive Caucus abandoned you. Not once but twice in the 2016 and 2020 Democratic presidential election cycle, the DNC establishment committed election fraud that denied Bernie Sanders a nomination, and they went for corporatists. And yet, this is the same Democratic establishment that a lot of progressives, people that we have supported from 2016, have been going to bat for. And this is going to come back to haunt the Democrats. I will be surprised if the Democratic Party is able to at least recover some good standing, at least this administration, some good standing with what remains of their supporters and voters in the state of Ohio. And we need to look at the bigger picture here, and that is a community has been polluted. But see, this is the problem with politics in America. The reason why our infrastructure is falling apart, the reason why we have environmental disasters, the reason why we have a failure of leadership is because both parties play this game with the lives of the American people. Previous Democratic and Republican presidential administrations could have held the railroad corporations accountable for their lack of safety. They could have put in more restrictions and regulations to ensure that the trains are running safely. We have an antiquated system, and it's falling apart. It's falling apart because no one's doing their job, and people are lying. And because you have ineffective leadership, because you have people lying to make themselves look better so they could build up their career, the victims are the American people. And so anyone that says that the people should go through this or deserve it, say that to their face. Say that to their face. Because we don't know what the long-term consequences will be. I can guarantee you it won't be pleasant. Richest country in the world, we don't have Medicare for all, but boy, oh boy, do we got the money to crap out. Endless amount of money for this war in Ukraine. I want to pull up another video. Again, shout out to Case Study QB. If you're not following him, he's wrongly being censored on Twitter. He's doing some phenomenal work discussing if Biden should still go to East Palestine. Yeah, he should, because it's going to cost the Democrats the state of Ohio in 2024. I will be surprised if they can maintain any kind of support in that state after what this administration has done. And if you vote Democrat or Republican, I'm sorry, you're in an abusive relationship. Wake up.
mistake for him not to go? Should he go now? Is it too late?
He should go. This is an extraordinary event, not just for the people of East Palestine, but it has come to stand for something bigger in the country. And Democrats do have something to say to the large forces, large corporate forces exploiting people in rural America. They're losing on the cultural issues, but as Bernie Sanders and some others have demonstrated, they can connect on that. And he left that trick on the table for Donald Trump to come in and say, I'm your guy, even though it was the Trump administration.
Okay, let's actually stop right here, okay? Because it's easy to blame Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump has, and his administration is responsible for this, but so is the previous Democratic administration run under Barack Obama, and then the previous Republican presidential administration run by good old Bush Jr. So, yeah, this is a perfect opportunity for somebody like Trump to take advantage of. And let's face it, majority of Americans are unaware of just how indifferent our politicians are towards them. And so when a situation like this happens and that the Biden-Harris administration are not there to show up and they only send Pete Buttigieg, who looked tired, of course somebody like Trump is going to be there. Of course. I'm not trying to sound like Fat Tony. I mean, Cenk Uygur. But I mean, of course. Of course that he's going to be there, and his supporters and voters and people that maybe were on the fence with him are going to say, wow, at least Trump showed up. At least Trump cares. And he could pull it off. He could say, I'm here for you. Where's Biden? I thought the soul of the country was going to turn back. And again, this isn't an endorsement of Trump, but trust me on it. When it comes down to politics, never let a good crisis go to waste. And somebody like Trump is going to do it. And how can we forget a quote from Jimmy Dore? You think people voted for Trump because their lives are great? No, that's not the case at all. And so, yes, on day one, the Biden administration should have been there, but they didn't. They should have, they could have, but they didn't.
Which changed the regulations, which helped perhaps to contribute to this event. It came to stand for something big in the country, and we look to presidents for leadership on that.
Chris, mistake for him not to go, and is it too late?
Always a mistake not to go. Look, if you're an executive leader and there is a disaster, people expect you to be there, and they're comforted by you being there. Whether they support you or not philosophically, you're the president, you're the governor. And look, I saw this during Sandy and a number of other things. The most important thing was to be there, to be able to show people you were in charge, you were in touch. I remember a woman saying to me the first day after Sandy, you haven't forgotten us. People are worried that they're being forgotten. And it's never too late to go. He'll get some criticism, but he should go.
But he's not going to show up. I want to acknowledge a super chat here in the live stream real quick from Nabinas. Thank you so much. There are no differences between these horribly corrupt parties. This is an illusion of democracy. They are playing us all for saps, to which, again, I have to quote Roger Meadows on this one. I hope he is watching, and I'd like to look further into this. But let's talk about abolishing political parties at the state level so that way at the federal level, they're no longer relevant. You see, I'm all for independent. I'm all voting for third parties, but we have to abolish all political parties. We have to get money out of politics, because if we don't and we keep the system as is, they're going to keep on screwing us over. Our system, our infrastructure in America is antiquated. It is so far behind. And more communities are at risk for these horrible train derailments and other accidents. It doesn't have to be this way. And in a proper democracy, in a proper republic, said government, both at the federal level and state level, should, in theory, do the right thing. But our system isn't designed that way. Because guess who's at the bottom of the totem pole? The American people, the voter. Wait till 2024 starts rolling around, and you're going to see the abusive partners in the Democratic and Republican Party, all these politicians knocking on everyone's doors and saying, oh, we promise to be better. Oh, we promise to do this, and we promise to do that, and we'll make your life great and never again. And we're here for you. I've been watching Succession, so that was from season 2. We here for you. Check out Succession. It's a great show. But they don't care. I want to pull up one last video one last video for you guys, and it's regards to train derailments and highway truck accidents. Shout out again to Case Study QB. If you're not following him on Twitter, please do so. He has an original YouTube channel and Odyssey page as well. He does a lot of great work, but unfortunately his work is being censored on Twitter, which is absolute BS.
Data download time. That East Palestine train derailment and the chemical spill it caused raised some renewed questions about the safety of rail travel and using it to transport toxic chemicals. Just how safe is shipping toxic cargo by train? The answer? It's somewhat complicated. Let me show you.
Somewhat complicated. So in other words, you know what that means? It's not safe. It's a yes or no. Excuse me, sir. That doesn't answer my question. It's somewhat complicated. No. Just for the most part, just be upfront with the American people. They've been lied to enough. Just to say, no, guys, hey, we're kind of screwed here.
Train derailments overall have actually been going down over the last 10 years. We had over 1,300 derailments in 2013.
13. Just down by 300. That's still too many, buddy.
Just over 1,000 in 2022, about 3 a day. Good news is not all these train derailments are trains carrying hazardous material.
Oh, so did you hear that? Not all these train derailments are carrying hazardous material. So what else do trains carry? Oh, I don't know. Maybe supply crates, livestock. Oh, yeah. And sometimes trains have people using them. So, yeah, that's not a good thing. Okay, good news is some of these train derailments aren't with chemicals, but wait, hey, buddy, what else do trains pull around? Yeah, people too. So that means there's been some train derailments where people might have died or been severely injured. Leave it to MSNBC to kind of gloss over the fact. Oh, yeah, not all the train derailments are chemical spills. What else are those trains pulling there, buddy?
Now, though, let's compare hazmat spills on railway incidents. So we had 667 hazmat spills in 2013 on the tracks, railroad tracks. It's down to 355 in 2022. So you can see.
Okay. Oh, still not good. It's going down, but Jesus, 355, that's a high number. And he's smiling about it.
It's actually been getting safer by rail. Now, contrast that by hazmat spills on the highways. Look at this. In 2013, we had nearly 14,000. It's actually been going.
And this isn't anything okay, enough with the happy music or the busy music. Okay, so we're talking about highway disasters. Gee, what's happening to our truck drivers? A lot of them are being forced to drive and stay on the road. We've done stories about a lot of these Amazon truck drivers who aren't allowed to take breaks and have to wear adult diapers because if they take one too many breaks, they could be fired. This is ridiculous puritanical logic that we have in this country of work. You'll be close to God. Probably God saying, hey, why are y'all working yourself to death? I created this beautiful earth. All of you should enjoy it. And yet you're all working yourselves to death. You're not even enjoying my work. Why are you doing this? To get close to me? What's wrong with you people?
Going up. We had over 23,000 hazmat spills by highway, just 355 by train.
These are not good numbers.
So clearly, safer to do this and better to do this by train, right?
Hey, you know what? I'm proud. I'm proud that I'm learning how to calm down and not throw things because this is a very expensive setup, and I don't want FaZe and Daniel to say, hey, what'd you do? Because honest to God, I'm pretty sure some of you just want to throw your phone to the ground. Please don't throw your phone to the ground. You need it. You need it to work.
Well, you start to look at it financially, it's a different story. Let's take 2022 as an example. There were over 23,000 incidents that happened on highways. The cost of those cleanups, $21 million. The 355 incidents by rail, the cost of that was more than double that, $45 million. Now, why is that? It's mainly due to one large rail spill in May. It was a train carrying petroleum products that derailed in Harmar Township, Pennsylvania. Spilled over 3,000 gallons into a creek, cost over $30 million in damages. By the way, the rail operator of that train, none other than Norfolk Southern, the same one behind this month's incident in East Palestine. When you have these derailments, it can be gigantic accidents.
I got half a mind to just go on a swearing storm right now, but I won't because we live in a clown. We live We live in a circus tent right now. This is America. These numbers are all too high. And the reason why they're happening is because of lack of regulations at the state and federal level, lack of protecting the workers that maintain the railways, lack of protecting the truck drivers that are on the road. And I understand there's supply and demand, but hey, everybody's human. Everybody needs a rest. Everyone needs to have some paid sick leave, vacation time, ability to rest. I don't know, healthcare, quality of life, livable wages. And whose fault is this? It's a two-party system that created it. If you're not angry, you should be. But remember, to all those quote-unquote neoliberals and compassionate, bleeding heart liberals who say the people of East Palestine, Ohio deserve this, those words will come back to you to haunt you. And Ohio, right now, needs help. All of America needs help right now. This election year is going to be a nightmare, folks, but everyone pretend to be shocked, grab some popcorn, and hang out with Hardlands Media, and we'll help you navigate through this madness.